heard of logistic regression? What is logistic regression? No?
No.
Okay, so today we'll discuss about discriminant analysis. It's similar to logistic regression, but logistic regression is not in your course. So yeah, maybe in market research it is. In marketing business analytics, it is definitely there. So discriminant analysis, we have covered regression, we have covered factor, cluster. What is this discriminant analysis, and how is it different from this, factor, cluster? Why we do discriminant analysis? So the agenda for today's discussion is to understand what is discriminant analysis. One second. What are the similarities between ANOVA, regression, and discriminant analysis? There's some similarity. And what are the objectives of doing discriminant? I'll show you some examples. And after that, there is this Ellen Jeans case. Do you remember that? There were some questions in that Ellen Jeans case. We solved only one question. There were some three questions which we were supposed to do. And I said that the remaining two questions can't be done using factor analysis. And we'll see how we can use discriminant analysis to solve those questions. Okay. So let's see this example. So there is this person, Mr. X, and we have to tell whether this person can pay the loan or not. It is very widely used, both logistic regression as well as discriminant analysis is very widely used in banking and finance also, marketing, whether a person will buy or not, whether a person will pay loan or not. So how this algorithm works. So do you think there are certain variables which can tell us that whether a person will pay a loan or not? What are the variables that can tell this guy will pay the loan or not?
Continuous income.
Maybe, yeah, it can be income.
Like historical records.
Yes, historical records, but yes, what variable exactly? What variable?
His dues, like in the past, he had paid all his dues.
Yeah, what is, whether he has paid all his dues, how is the record, maybe credit rating.
Interest payment.
Yeah, interest payment. So there are host of, these variables based on which we can predict whether a person will pay the loan or not. Or if I have, this, say for 2000 people, I have this record कि उनकी इनकम कितनी थी, उनका डेट कितना था, उनके लाइफ स्टेज कितनी थी, और collaterals, or all the variables I take, and I already have this data कि उन्होंने लोन पे किया या नहीं पे किया. Based on that past data also, I can predict for new 100 people that whether they are going to pay the loan or not. Like in regression, we were fitting the line. Here we are not fitting the line. What we are doing is we are predicting, or say we are telling, we are classifying in and here the dependent variable is categorical. So like in regression, the dependent variable was not categorical, it was metric. Key sales is a dependent variable, how advertisement influences sales. Okay, or how say likability influences purchase intention. So that was metric. Okay, dependent variable B, independent variable B. What difference? What is the difference here? जो हमारा dependent variable है, that is categorical. So we'll end up answering questions ki whether a person will pay a loan, whether it won't pay a loan, whether a person will default, whether he will not default, whether a person will buy a product or not. Okay. So that kind of analysis for finding that kind of answers where you're categorical, where your answer is yes or no, or even 1, 2, 3. That is like whether he's a medium, high, or low user of a product. That also we can find. Basically, the dependent variable should be categorical. Okay. So in factor and cluster, we grouped. In factor, we grouped variables. In cluster, we grouped respondents. But here we are classifying the respondents in discriminant analysis. And we already know what is the classification. Okay, we already know what we want to find, that whether, there's going to be two categories. We already know whether a person will buy or whether a person will not buy. Unlike cluster analysis, where we don't know beforehand whether how many clusters are we going to get, how many groups are we going to get. Here we already know how many groups we have. Okay, so whether a person, for example, whether if a person falls into highly religious, moderately religious, and not at all religious. So based on religious affiliations, we can categorize him into this. So it can be 0, 1, 2, it can be 0 and 1, basically 3 categories or 2 categories. So what we are doing here in discriminant analysis is we want to separate clients based on variables. So like I showed you here, we have some independent variables, and based on these independent variables, we are categorizing it. Okay, we already have past data. We can also predict it. We already have past data. We can also see what is the difference in these groups. And yes, if we have past data, what we can do is we can create our model, and then we can run this model on new fresh cases. Like I said, मेरे पास 2000 I have data of 2000 people जिनकी इनकम ये थी, ड्यूज इतने थे, आई ऑलरेडी हैव दिस डेटा, और उन्होंने फिर पे किया या नहीं किया, 0 और 1 और 1 और 2 whatever I quote, ये डेटा मेरे पास ऑलरेडी है. I already have this data for 2000 people. Now say I get these 100 people ka data, okay, and I don't know whether they'll pay the loan or not. So based on this, this data, I can create one model and I can run this, and I can then predict whether these 100 people will pay the loan or not. So do you think there is any benefit of predicting a person will pay a loan or not? He'll be credit defaulters or not? Or whether he'll purchase a product or not? Do you think कोई फायदा है ये predict करने का? Say in marketing, say you are selling one product, and you already know, based on these independent variables, and you already have data, say for 2000 people, that based on these, whether they'll buy this product or not. And if you are running this and if you are predicting it for, say, another 100 people for which you don't have that data, you have only this data for this 100 people. And then you can predict whether a person will purchase my product or not. Do you think there is any benefit involved in this, in doing this exercise? कि हम predict कर सके whether a person will buy my product or not? Yes. कोई benefit नहीं है.
Ma'am, we'll be able to determine whether we'll have the returns on our investments or not.
And
we can product will be sold.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? So there are so many things that you can, you can benefit out of this information a lot. Ki in logo ko, whether I need to send, for example, I need to send catalogs, and I can identify these people that there's no point of sending catalogs or say doing any marketing activities or sending coupons or anything to these people because they are not going to buy. So instead of buying 100 coupons, I should buy only 20 coupons and send it across to only those people who are going to buy. Or instead of printing say 200 catalogs, I should print only 100 catalogs and send it across to only those people who are going to buy my product, right? So that is what discriminant analysis can do. Okay. So the basic is that you use to predict group membership, whether your respondents are falling in which group. It's in group 1 or it's in group 2 based on some predictors. That is what, that is the basic. So let's say another example. we want to know whether somebody has lung cancer. Here we wish to predict a yes or no outcome. Okay, so possible predictors could be, what can be predictors? What can predict whether a person has a lung cancer or not?
How frequent does he smoke?
How frequent does he smoke? Yeah, number of cigarettes he's smoking. What is the frequency of coughing, intensity of coughing, or other parameters that are there. So based on this, if
Nicotine level and blood reports can also be a predictor.
yes, blood reports, some numbers, we don't know exactly what numbers are there. So yeah, the blood reports, what are the numbers that that can identify, that can tell whether a person has lung cancer or not. So yeah, all these are independent variables, right? Coughing frequency, intensity, blood reports, all these are variables that can predict whether a person has lung cancer or not. So in hospitals also, if you have that kind of data, say in a hospital, I have a data of say 1,000 people who were tested for lung cancer, and they had these variables. And I have the data whether they had lung cancer or not, and the data for these variables. I can run discriminant analysis or even logistic regression also, and then predict whether the fresh cases, those 100 cases that are new, that are coming, whether they are going to have lung cancer or not. Okay, so that kind of thing can be done. What is discriminant analysis? It's a technique for analyzing data when the criterion or dependent variable is categorical. When you have to make a decision of yes or no, when you have to classify your respondents, when you have to classify your customers in categories. And the predictor or independent variables are metric, that is, they are measured on at least interval scale. So for example, the dependent variable may be the choice of a brand of personal computer, brand A, B, or C. And the independent variables may be ratings of attributes of PCs on 7-point Likert scale. So there can be, the independent variable can be how much rating they are giving to that PC. And then the dependent variable can be, based on these independent variables, we can categorize these people, whether they are going to, what is the choice of brand, whether it's brand A, B, or C, these three categories. Okay, what is the difference between ANOVA, regression, and discriminant analysis? The difference is that in discriminant analysis, the dependent variable is categorical. If I say between regression and discriminant, the difference is that dependent variable is categorical, whereas in ANOVA and in regression it's metric. And it's reverse in ANOVA. The independent variable there is categorical and the dependent variable is metric. So that is the difference. Okay, let's see some more categories. Say gender, male versus female, that you can see. Okay, one or two, whether these people are male or female, or based on the preference. We'll do Ellen Jean's case to discuss this point. Okay, heavy users versus light users. So based on some characteristics, based on some independent variables, you can categorize your customers as heavy users or light users, whether they are going to purchase or not. Okay, purchasers versus non-purchasers, good credit risk or poor credit risk, or credit defaulters or payers, member versus non-member, attorney, physician, or professor. So it can be three categories also. So in this session we will discuss about two categories only. So these are the various different kind of, just to give you an example, there are different categories how you can classify your respondents. Okay. So development, what are the objectives of discriminant function? What exactly is doing? So development of discriminant function or linear combination of the predictor or independent variables, which will best discriminate between categories of the criteria, not dependent variable. So हमें independent variable का जो data है, I have to just separate it in categories. So what is the best discriminating variable? That is I have to find. Whether there are significant differences exist among the groups. Is it so कि जो male की preferences हैं और female की preferences हैं वो different है? Whether there's any significant differences? And we have a very important statistic that is called Wilks lambda to identify that. Okay, determination of which predictor variables contribute to most of the intergroup differences. Okay, male or female में by preference changes हैं, but exactly what are the variables that are creating that discrimination between males and females? Classification of cases to one of the groups based on the values of the predictor variable. We have already discussed this. Based on independent variables, we can classify whether a person will pay or not pay. And evaluation of the accuracy of classification. आपने model बना दिया, but you have to also check how accurate your model is. How can we check the model? Any idea? Test data क्या होता है? How can we check the model? Cross validation क्या होता है? Anything that comes in your mind? How do you check a model? Training data set, test data set. Okay, anyways, we'll discuss that also. So let's see some more examples. In terms of demographic characteristics, how do customers who exhibit store loyalty differ from those who do not? So whether a person is store loyal or not. Heavy, medium, and light users of soft drinks. What psychographic characteristics help differentiate between ये price sensitive buyers हैं, ये non price sensitive buyers हैं? Do the various segments differ in their media consumption habits? So these are some examples. Like I said, dependent variable is credit risk, and independent variable can be income, education, family size kitni hai, occupation kya hai, all these things. Dummy variable means, do you understand what is dummy variable? What is dummy variable? Dummy variable is basically 0 or 1, which means a characteristics is not present or present. That is dummy variable, as simple as that. So if I say gender and I say male, and I'll say male, I'm giving 1, then to female, I'll say 0. So 0 and 1, that is dummy variable. Okay. So can respondents be clearly segregated in terms of income preference of burgers? So it's just a graphical representation. So I have respondents. Some are customers of Wendy's, some are customers of Burger King, and some are customers of McDonald's. Okay. And I asked them that, what is their income? So that there is low income, there's high income, medium. And then I asked what is the preference for tasty burgers? So is it low and high? So based on income or, preference, can I segregate these respondents? So I see there are these 3 different, segments are coming up. Although there is some overlap, but these 3 segments are coming up. Let's see another example. Say I have these 2 set of respondents. This is A and B, and there is this segregating function. This is called discriminant function. So what we are trying to do here is, what discriminant analysis model does is, it gets this discriminant score and it creates this discriminant function. If you have 2 groups, okay, say male and female, A and B is male and female. If you have 2 groups, then it arrives at this discriminant score at this discriminant function so that it separates these 2 categories. Let's say this. Okay, suppose we have 2 groups, G1 and G2. Okay, and members of these groups was measured on 2 variables, X1 and X2. So group 1 may be kuch group 2 ke log hai. Say if you see this circle, okay, they are overlapping, isn't it? First or second. And group 2 may be 2 bhi hai, but there are some members which are on 1. So how to segregate, say male and female, how to segregate कि वो किस पे differ करते हैं, कौन से preference वाले parameters पे differ करते हैं. So this is what discriminant analysis does. So it just creates a model based on which you get some statistics, and by reading these statistics you understand whether there is any difference based on these parameters. Let's see Ellen Jean's case and then you will be able to understand. So there are several statistics. I'll go on this later. Okay, so just before we start this Ellen Jean's case, there's this one very important parameter, that is Wilks lambda. And what it does, it calculates within group variance and total variance. If I have this value is higher, so what does that mean? Whether the groups are different or whether the groups are same. Within group variance and by total variance, or between a group variance. So there are these two groups, or say these two overlapping groups. So it gives, Wilks lambda is equal to within group variance by total variance. So how this value tells you whether the groups are overlapping or not. So when two groups overlap, that means they have higher Wilks lambda, or other way around. If you see in an output there is higher Wilks lambda, that means these two groups overlap. But if Wilks lambda is less, means there is clear-cut distinction between these two groups. Let's come to Ellen Jean's case and then I'll discuss this. Remember this. So we have already solved this part. Samarth found that brand awareness and this, and there were some factors: product varieties, brand name, marketing campaigns, updated trends, functional usage. So these were the factors. Remember this. ये factors कैसे आए थे? We had some parameters. हमने factor analysis run किया था. या सब भूल गए?
नहीं, हम याद है.
याद है, good. So we had some these variables, कुछ 15 parameters थे, and then हमने factor analysis run किया and we arrived कि इतने around 6 factors थे, which you can group these 15 parameters, and we arrived at these 6 factors. Now what he said after that is he made a presentation to the management and suggested we should invest in innovative product styles and building brand trust to create differentiation at utmost level. Okay. He was not sure whether his analysis and suggestion would have the desired effect. ये 5 factors पे तो हो गया, okay, कि हमें इन सब पे focus करना चाहिए. These are the things that people look for when they are buying jeans. ये हमारे factor analysis से आ गया. उसने एक और statement बोला that we should invest in product styles and building brand trust to create differentiation at utmost level. However, he was not sure whether his analysis and suggestions would have desired effect. Gupta asked, here, do we need to assume that the factors are common for male and female? Or I'll put in some other way, is there any difference between male and female consumers regarding these factors? Are you able to understand this question? Because this is very important. This is what we are going to do here. Whether these factors are common for male and female. Are you able to understand this? What does that mean?
You repeat it.
Yeah, so this is statement. Can you tell me what does that mean? That whether these factors are common for male and female, or I'll put it another way, is there any difference between male and female consumers regarding the factors?
It's how whether both male and female prefer the product for the same reason or not.
Yes. So we had these variables, wide availability, variety, or say these factors. So brand name, marketing campaigns. और हमने ये gender के लिए भी पूछा था, right? यहाँ पर ये इस टाइप का हमारा कुछ डेटा था. Gender भी था and we had all these variables. और इन variables को हमने कुछ 6 factors में group कर दिया था. But now they are saying कि ये जो 6 factors हैं, whether there is any difference in male and female regarding these factors. इज इट सो कि मेरी जो प्रोडक्ट वैरायटी है या मार्केटिंग कैंपेन्स है वो मेल्स के लिए अलग से मैटर करता है, ज्यादा मैटर करता है? बिकॉज वी आस्क दिस ऑन इम्पोर्टेंस. ओके, रिमेंबर 1 to 5 के इम्पोर्टेंस के स्केल पे, whether how important is brand name, how important is marketing campaign, all these parameters, how important is availability, all these things. So the importance that males attach to brand name or marketing is it different from what importance that females attach to brand name marketing campaigns? ये क्वेश्चन समझ में आया?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that this was the question. Someone suggested that the company should invest in innovative product style and building brand trust to create differentiation at utmost level. And is there any difference between male and female when we look at these 6 factors? So let's do this extra analysis. Okay, so we are formulating the problem. The first thing that we have to do is, what are my independent variables and what are my dependent variables? Can you tell me what are my independent variables and what are my dependent variables? Remember, discriminant analysis में dependent variable क्या होता है हमारा?
Categorical.
Categorical, yes. And see this data, see this factor wala, and can you tell me now? And this question, what is the dependent variable and what is the independent variable? Just look at this question again. Is there any difference between male and female consumers regarding these factors? What is the dependent? What is the independent?
Ma'am, dependent is the gender
Yes, dependent is the gender
and independent are the various factors.
are the various factors. Yes, those 6 factors. So using this, we run our discriminant analysis and we have formulated the problem. So these are my independent variable, these are my dependent variable. So the first thing is you estimate the discriminant function coefficient. And what is it that you just run this analysis? I'll share the screen captures, but I'll go through some important tables and what you have to look at it. Check this table for male and female. Can you spot, this is just intuitive, okay? Can you spot ki wo kaun sa variable hai? See, this is factor 1, this is factor 2, this is factor 3. Similarly, in female, factor 1, factor 2, factor 3. कौन सा वो वेरिएबल है, से फैक्टर है जिसके लिए ग्रुप मीन का डिफरेंस सबसे ज्यादा है?
Factor 5.
Yes, exactly. Factor 5, brand name. So it is highest for this. This means that this factor, although it's still intuitive, okay, we haven't arrived कि कितना ज़्यादा significant है on all that thing, but it appears to separate the group very widely. तो मेल एंड फीमेल्स का जो इम्पोर्टेंस वो ब्रांड नेम पे दे रहे हैं वो सबसे ज्यादा डिफरेंस ये ब्रांड नेम पर है. ओके, ये मेल शायद बहुत ज्यादा हाई ब्रांड नेम चाहता है विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर देम, बट फीमेल्स ब्रांड नेम पे इतना ज्यादा हाई नहीं है इसको. बेसिकली द डिफरेंस इज वेरी हाई ऑन ब्रांड नेम, राइट? So after that you get this table, simple correlation, and you have to just there is no multicollinearity here. Okay, so the correlation is very small. So har ek factor ka correlation, this is just that, and we see that the correlation is not very significant. We have 0.03 highest, so that is not very significant. So we say that multicollinearity ki problem is highly unlikely here. Okay, this is pooled within group matrices. After that you get this table. Remember, Samad suggested, ये question था हमारा. Samad suggested that the company should invest in innovative product styles and building brand trust. Okay, to create differentiation at utmost level. ये क्या बताता है? It tells you some F ratios. Okay, that's significance. So what all variables are significant here?
And second and fifth.
Second and fifth. So this is test of equality. So you say that these are equal, and then you say the significance is this. That means, you know, they are significant. You reject it, and then you say that these two are significant. So Samad was right when he said that the company should invest in innovative product styles and building brand trust to create differentiation at utmost levels, because males and females treat these things differently, updated trends or brand name pay. Okay, next is you get this this table. So because there are two groups, we have gender male and female, you have one discriminant function is estimated, and it tells you what is the variance. Okay, so the variance is 0.692 is the canonical correlation. This is the value. इसका सीधे square कर देंगे हम, and 47.8% is the variance. But here it is slightly different from regression. You can't tell how significant this model is from this. For running significance, you have to determine the significance through different statistics, and which is called Wilks lambda. So to identify whether there is any significant difference between male and female consumers regarding these, we check this Wilks lambda. And what is this Wilks lambda? Wilks lambda, it would not be meaningful to interpret the analysis, look here, if the discriminant functions estimated were not statistically significant. So the null hypothesis is that the means of all discriminant function in all groups are equal. Okay, the same thing, the means are equal, that is the null hypothesis. And then you get the significant value, it says the means are different. So these, this discriminate between, there is a discrimination between male and female. So that's how you say that, okay, this is significant. Okay, are you able to understand till now? Ki humne male, female, we check these tables, what these tables mean, and we are just mapping it what Samad was saying. Ki ye sabse zyada significant the, to okay, he was right here. And then he said that males and females mein kuch difference hai, and we check this using Wilks lambda. Now let's reinterpret the result, how the results are looking. So there is this table that is standardized canonical correlation coefficient. Just read it like beta. जैसे हम regression में beta values read करते थे. So which factor is most important between male and between discriminating male and female importance? So just read which has the highest value of beta.
Brand name, image.
Brand name. And the second one?
Updated trends.
Updated trends.
Updated trends. Yes. So first one is the brand name, then the updated trends, and then others come. So whatever Samad was saying was right, that updated trends and brand names, the company should invest in order to create differentiation. Males or females different. Okay. The question was that whether for these factors, is it so that the importance between male and females is different? So yes, definitely it is. So there are other tables also which you can check, but it tells you the same thing. Ki wo kaun se variables hai which are creating this differentiation and how important these are. And these are just standardized ones. Okay. So then comes the centroid. So centroid is nothing, it's a group mean. Okay, so for male you have positive and for female you have negative. This means when you have high on updated trends and brand name would result in higher importance or higher customer preference in males. Okay, so males ka ye positive tha, we coded males as 1 and females as 2. Okay, and then there's something called this group mean or centroid. Centroid is mean. Okay, group mean. So what we do is, after that, after interpreting the results, what we do is we assess this validity. How we are assessing this validity? Okay, so what we are doing here is we are seeing what is the sample. So the total sample was, remember, 125. The total sample was 125, or you can see this from yeah, here also. The total sample was 125. They covered 125 school student graduates, right? So what we are doing it here is, even in machine learning algorithms, you know, I was mentioning about test data and train data, all those things. Well, so what we do is, say if I have a sample of 125, or say let me take even number, say I have 100, a sample of 100. So what I do is I divide my sample. मैं split कर देती हूँ अपना sample, 50 इधर 50 इधर. What I do is, मैं एक मॉडल रन करती हूँ सिर्फ इस 50 के सैंपल पे, और whatever equation, whatever model I get, I then run it on this my data. So this is called my training data, and one is called my test data. मेरे पास already 100 का sample है. I split it into two half. एक डेटा पे मैं I'll run my discriminant analysis. I come with that model and then I'll run that on the other half. Okay, and then I cross validate. What I do, अब इससे मैं test data बोल दूंगी, and then I'll say it train data, and then I again run it. This is just for cross validation. So what we are doing here is, we are saying कि मेरा observe value क्या था, और discriminant analysis run करके, ये model run करके, what numbers I'm getting, and through this I get a hit ratio. So what is hit ratio? Hit ratio is nothing that कि कितना तुम्हारा ओरिजिनल था और कितना तुमने वो प्रेडिक्ट करा करेक्ट, जस्ट टू चेक दैट. सो हियर इन क्रॉस वैलिडेशन, इफ आई सी this is my hit ratio. Hit ratio is basically the diagonal elements and you divide by total number of respondents. So मेल इतने थे 46 और प्रेडिक्ट भी 46 ही हुए. फीमेल्स सॉरी आई हैव जस्ट या 46 and predict भी 46 हुए, and females 54 ही थे मेरे original data में, and predict 67 थे मेरे original data में, और predict 54 हुए. So that means 46, what is the hit ratio? 46 plus 54, and what were the total number of cases? Total respondents कितने हैं मेरे पास?
100.
One यहाँ पर total number of respondents
25.
125. So if you have to calculate the hit ratio or say accuracy, so 46 plus 54 divided by 125, which gives what is the percentage? Hundred by 125, what is the percentage?
80%.
Yeah, 80%. So 80% is the accuracy. Anyways, you will get it from here also. But in case you are given this table and you are asked what is the hit ratio cross-validated, you can calculate it like this. Or say, what is the, okay, tell me what is the hit ratio?
What does this hit ratio tell us about?
Okay, hit ratio is कि कितना ओरिजिनल नंबर ऑफ मेल्स और फीमेल्स थे, और तुमने जो प्रेडिक्ट किया वो कितना करेक्टली प्रेडिक्ट किया, राइट? तो अगर मेरे पास 125 थे और उनमें से मैंने 100 लोगों को करेक्टली प्रेडिक्ट किया, दैट इज माय हिट रेशियो, दैट इज माय एक्यूरेसी. कितना एक्यूरेट तुम्हारा मॉडल है. ओके, इट्स दैट सिंपल कि कितना एक्यूरेट तुम्हारा मॉडल है. मेरे ऑलरेडी मुझे पता था कि इतने लोग, फॉर एग्जांपल इतने लोग परचेज करेंगे, इतने लोग नहीं परचेज करेंगे. आई ऑलरेडी हैव दिस डेटा. And when I ran this model, okay, on my data, and then I arrived on some predicted numbers. Already मेरे पास data है, पर उसी data के ही predicted numbers मेरे पास आए. This is to just to check my model, how close my model is to my original data. Okay, अगर मैं नए respondents पे ये run करूंगी तो मुझे ये नहीं पता होगा कि already वो purchase करेंगे या नहीं. तो ऑलरेडी जो मेरे पास डेटा है, जिसमें रियल डेटा है, जिसमें मेरे पास ऑलरेडी नंबर्स है, whether they are going to purchase or not, what I do is that I compare it with that कि ओरिजिनल डेटा में इतने परचेज कर रहे थे, इतने परचेज नहीं कर रहे थे, प्रेडिक्टेड वाले में दीज आर द नंबर्स, एंड फ्रॉम यू नो जो करेक्ट नंबर्स हैं, सो 46 मेल उन्होंने करेक्ट प्रेडिक्ट किए, 12 नहीं करे. So जो ये diagonal elements है, you just add this and you divide by total number of respondents. This give you hit ratio. Okay, for this original data, can you tell me what is the hit ratio for this? For this ये वाली table, yeah. What is the hit ratio?
$80.8.
No, how have you calculated this?
Ma'am, 82.4. Ma'am, 82.4.
Plus 57 by 125.
46 plus 57 by 125. Yes, Ritik.
82.4.
Yeah, Ankush, yes, 82.4%. That will give you 82.4%. That's a very important matrix. It's called confusion matrix, by the way. Okay. And in logistic regression also we use it. Machine learning algorithm में बहुत use होता है confusion matrix. If you are not following those blogs, and if you are interested in data science and all, you'll counter this multiple times कि ये confusion matrix क्या है. So yeah, it tells about the model accuracy. What are we going to do next is, in next session, we don't have much time in this session. What I'm going to do is that we'll create some data set. Okay, ये जो Allen Jeans वाला ही data है, either in this data we'll create some 10 random numbers. Okay, कि उन्होंने importance कितना किस variable को दिया, and then we can predict कि वो male था या female था. Although it's sounding too abstract कि male or female, how can we predict? It's just the preference कि male अगर importance 5 दे रहा है brand को, और importance से high number दे रहा है, 4 दे रहा है तुम्हारे updated trends को, so we'll have this male and female only for 125 data. सारा data will be for these 125 respondents. हम 10 respondents and we'll fill the numbers by our choice, and then we'll predict it. We'll run it in SPSS and we'll see what are the answers that are coming of male and female. That exercise we are going to do in next session. Or you can do it yourself. I'll share this PPT. I'll share some screenshots also for SPSS screenshots. And this is, very interesting exercise that you can do. Any questions that?
Ma'am, this analysis is possible only if we have data already, like you said initially, 2000 records. If we don't have them, we cannot run this analysis, right?
No, you can't. क्योंकि आपको model train करना होता है. Even in regression, even in this, you have to train the model on. You should have some data. Past data पे ही आप predict कर पाते हो. So if you have this data, आपका model उसी पर ही बनेगा. Based on the past data, you will build, say, your regression line. Based on your past data, you will build this discriminant function. फिर वो model, जब if you have good data and then you build that model and then you check how it is validating, कितना validation है, वो भी तुम past data पे ही करते हो कि कितना validate कर रहा है, कि original कितना था and predict कैसे कर रहा है, ये validation तुम check करते हो. And after that, if it is good, then you take the fresh data and then you run and predict. So yes, answering to that question, yes, you do it on past data only. Any other question regarding this? So yes, we have done this. We have determined the significance, and yes.
मैम कोई बेला चाव चलाया जा रहा है बार बार.
हाँ, ये मेरा ही फोन है. I am so sorry.
It's okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, I'll share the screen capture. So try doing this exercise. ये समझ में आया तुम्हें? Test data, जो भी तुम्हारी ये SPSS डेटा है से इसमें ही दिखा देती हूँ या सो ये अराउंड 125 रेस्पोंडेंट्स का डेटा होगा तुम्हारे पास, ठीक है। एंड व्हाट यू हैव टू डू इज जेंडर इज 1 और 2, ओके। यहाँ पर 125 का ऑलरेडी यू हैव, कुछ 10 रेस्पोंडेंट्स का ऐसे ही डेटा कुछ भी ऐसे डाल देना, से 3 2 1 4 ऐसे करके, सिर्फ ये वाला, ओके। कुछ 10 रेस्पोंडेंट्स का ये डालना एंड देन रन डिस्क्रिमिनेंट एनालिसिस, जो एनालाइज करके वो डिस्क्रिमिनेंट एनालिसिस है, एंड देन यू विल गेट सम नंबर्स यहाँ पर 0 और 1, मेल और फीमेल, you will get those numbers. So try doing this exercise. Okay, ये समझ में आया? Is it doable?
ये कैसे होगा जब when we don't have the past records?
अरे ये past record ही तो है तुम्हारे पास. This is a past record. See gender. इस case में it's see it differently. It's not that we are predicting from independent variables to this. We already have this past data. हमारे पास gender है. This is dependent variable. Remember?
Okay, ma'am.
Independent variable. This is the past data. ये 125 का take this as past data, right? और तुम्हारे पास fresh data आता है जो तुम खुद बनाते हो, okay? You create say 10 या 15, 20 लोगों का data तुम खुद डाल देते हो यहाँ पर numbers, and then you run, and then you will get the dependent variable automatically from this. That is, you are predicting. Okay.
Okay.
And मैम ये लास्ट स्लाइड में ब्रांड कलर ये भी फैक्टर्स ही हैं?
Sorry, ये
लास्ट वन ब्रांड कलर, they are 6 factors ना?
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So sorry. Thank you for pointing out that. जब तुम factor analysis run करोगे, okay,
Yes, ma'am.
वहां पर एक जो लास्ट तुम्हारी SPSS वाला विंडो होगा, उसमें एक फैक्टर स्कोर्स करके कुछ होगा, फैक्टर स्कोर्स। जब तुम उस पर क्लिक करोगे, व्हेन यू रन फैक्टर एनालिसिस, फैक्टर स्कोर्स पर टिक करोगे, तो तुम्हारा SPSS डेटा में ही 4 कॉलम्स बन के, 6 कॉलम्स बन के आएंगे ऐसे। ये आउटपुट वाली टेबल में नहीं आएगा, ये तुम्हारा SPSS डेटा जिसमें डेटा फीड किया हुआ है उसी में ही बन के आ जाएगा, इसके आगे ही भर के आ जाएगा, ठीक है। सम लाइक फैक्टर स्कोर 1, फैक्टर स्कोर 2, जो तुम्हारे 6 फैक्टर्स हैं, यस, तुम्हारे 6 फैक्टर्स इसमें आ जाएंगे। यू रन ऑन दीज 6 फैक्टर्स एज योर इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल्स, ओके, एंड दिस जेंडर एज योर डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल, राइट। फैक्टर स्कोर्स पे रन करोगे, 6 जो फैक्टर स्कोर्स तुम्हारे आएंगे,
ओके मैम।
ओके। जो फैक्टर एनालिसिस वाली मेरी स्लाइड है, वहाँ पर SPSS में मेंशन है कि SPSS की कौन सी वो विंडो है जहाँ पर फैक्टर स्कोर्स यू कैन सेलेक्ट। सो हर ईच रेस्पोंडेंट, फॉर ईच रेस्पोंडेंट यू विल गेट दिस फैक्टर स्कोर तुम्हारी SPSS फाइल में, ओके। एंड I don't know whether you'll be able to do, okay, whether you'll be interested to do. I can share other data files also. Otherwise, you already have Wendy's and that Dell wala data set also. You can try it on that data set also. That's huge data set. Okay. Anything else? I have good 6-7 minutes. Anything regarding your project?
Ma'am, we had to discuss our approach note and questionnaire, group 7.
Group 7. Okay. Okay, I'll give you time for that because I have some presentations for other section also. Chahat, right? Chahat and group. You shared it?
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, take it. Okay, we'll do that.
I'm group 7, Barbie and all.
ठीक है राधिका, ओके। All right. Anything else on this discriminant analysis? Anything that you are not clear about? These statistics, you can go through it, but just run once. Okay, run that data and then compare it, with these statistics. Then it will become clear कि ये ये values क्या है, ये significance. These are the various approach. You first formulate the problem. This is the first stage. Then you estimate this function, discriminant function, and then you determine the significance. So significance is told by this Wills lambda. Then you interpret the results, and then you arrive at this confusion matrix, that is assess validity. What is the accuracy? How valid the results are? All these things. All right. Okay, then I'm ending it up here, and then yeah. All right. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.